Alright lads, welcome back to another match review on my channel for the 2018 Russia World Cup. And today we have Argentina-Iceland, the second match of today. I couldn't do one for the France-Australia game as I was working yet again, so I did catch some of the France-Australia game. But before we do get into anything, I want to say I am playing a YouTuber Scottish charity match, or a Scottish YouTuber's charity match, on August 19th at 3 o'clock, Sunday it is, up at Ochilview Park in Stenhousemuir. There's a team of YouTubers versus a team of Stenhousemuir coaches and over 35s. So if you want to be a part of that and help with the cause, we are raising money for SAMH, Scottish Association of Mental Health, and also for the Stenhousemuir community, then you can buy tickets down below. If you can't make the game, then any donations are still, much appreciated. We've not actually got a donations page yet set up, but there will be one soon, and I will let you know if you do want to donate. So if you do want to buy a ticket, then please do go down in the description and buy a ticket. First link in the description, and let's get into the match review. So Argentina versus Iceland. Argentina yet again with their strong attack: Messi, Aguero, Di Maria, Meza. And then their defence half decent. Otamendi, Rojo, fullbacks a bit weak, but the Argentina still have a good squad. Qualifying was a bit tough for them, but they still managed to do it thanks to Messi. But Messi today was not on his game. It started off Iceland started off decently. They were really direct with it, punting balls up to Finn Bogason up front. He would try and win the headers, and Iceland would try and get the knockdowns. And yeah, Argentina, throughout the game, I think they had about 75% possession, so that just tells you how the two teams played. Argentina was going for the kind of build-up play. Iceland were going really direct, and there wasn't really too much when I'm saying not too much, there wasn't too many chances in the first 20 minutes. Messi had a couple shots which the keeper saved fairly comfortably, but it wasn't until the 18th minute that Rojo had a shot from about 30 yards out, poor shots, but Aguero controlled it amazingly, took another touch to set himself, and with his back to goal, twisted himself and smashed it with his weak foot into the top corner. No chance for Halderson in nets as it whizzed by him into the top corner, and Aguero, I think that's his first ever World Cup goal, so well done to him. But it wasn't until 5 minutes later when Iceland scored and cancelled that goal out from Argentina. Yeah, Argentina's defence were a complete mess all over the place. It was Sigurdsson who crossed it into Finn Bogason. He went up for the header, but Willie Caballero came out and got the punch in. I'm not sure who it was, might have been Bjarnason or it might have been the full-back, I'm not sure, it was one of the two, who tried to shoot, but it was a terrible shot, ended up going back to the other side of the box where Sigurdsson was. He took a touch onto his right foot, smashed it in, and Willie Caballero once again had to dive out to palm it out, and it fell straight to Finn Bogason, who tapped it in, and that's Iceland's first ever World Cup goal. So that's a great achievement for them. That would be, it would be a great feeling to have scored that. And yeah, Iceland is just a great country. Everyone loves Iceland after what they did in Euro 2016. They're not a war country, and they don't get into a lot of wars, they don't get into a lot of conflict. So yeah, they seem a nice country, and the underdogs, everyone obviously wants the underdogs to do well. So I mean, Iceland is the perfect example of that. They do well, they've done well in Euro 2016. And they done well in this game today. Bjarnason had the chance actually before Iceland scored, but he dragged it wide. And Iceland had another couple chances when it came to Sigurdsson at the edge of the box, hit it on the volley, but he hit it completely wrong. You would think Sigurdsson, out of all the players, to hit a nice sweet shot and get it on target, but no, he wasn't able to do that. In the first half, Iceland, they kind of fell off a bit, but they were getting the odd attack. Argentina, they had a shout for handball. It might have been Pavon down the right hand side, and they might have been an elbow on Bjarnason, but he got away with it, and then he crossed in, and it hit off the hand of the Iceland defender. But it was more of a ball to hand. I mean, he can't really slide tackle with his hand tucked into himself. So yeah, it wasn't really, it wasn't a handball. It would have been a really harsh one on Iceland. So that's all I can all I can really recall from the first half, there was nothing really too outstanding in the first half. Two decent goals. Aguero's goal was good, but it seemed to be in Argentina that the team fears Messi. As if like they don't want to mess up a pass. Obviously, you don't want to mess up a pass, but when specifically when they're passing to Messi, they don't want to mess it up. They want it to be perfect. They always want to pass to Messi as if he's our Lord and Saviour. I mean, he was. If it wasn't for Messi, they wouldn't be in the World Cup. But you know, the likes of Di Maria and Aguero, they've got it in themselves to create that bit of magic as well. So I think it's a case of Argentina, I think, to believe in themselves more. But into the second half, and it was not working for Messi at all. Yeah, he was getting crowded out, 4 or 5 people around him as soon as he got the ball. Iceland got their tactics spot on. Their attack, they didn't really have too much going forwards, but they are the underdogs. They don't have the quality that Argentina do have. And yeah, so when Messi had the ball, they just crowded him out, and that really frustrated him. They really put him off his game a couple times. In fact, one time in the second half, he cut inside on his left, and he tried that curl shot. It was like the 88th minute. He tried that curl shot like he did in Iran in 2014, except in Iran, against Iran, sorry, he scored it, but it just went by the post this time. And he was, you know, Messi's always going to try and do that. One time he cut into his right, ran forward a bit, smashed it, but went over the bar. So he was trying a lot of different stuff, but nothing was coming off for him. And the biggest thing that did come off for him was the penalty. About the 65th minute, I think, and the ball got played over the top. I think it was might have been Pavon going onto the ball, Meza maybe, one of the two, and the Icelandic defender took him out. I think it was the left back. He just completely flattened him, and it was a penalty. And Messi stepped up, and he done what Ronaldo couldn't do yesterday: miss a penalty. It was a good save by Halderson in nets. I mean, he just guessed the right way. Messi. It was a good save by Halderson in nets. I mean, he guessed the right way. It was a poor penalty by Messi, it really was. But then 5-10 minutes later, Argentina could easily have gotten another penalty. As I'm sure it was Pavon. I've never seen Pavon in Meza before, but I'm sure it was Pavon. He had it down the wing. In fact, did he just come on as a sub? Have I been talking about Pavon the whole game and he just came on as a sub? Right, excuse me if I've done that, because I'm not familiar with those players, but I'm sure it was Pavon this time. It was on the edge of the box, went into the box, went by his player on the byline, and then he got taken out, and the ref deemed it as a dive. You saw the replay and there was contact. Obviously, I don't know, maybe he thought he's given a penalty already, he's not going to give another one. Some refs might think that, but maybe he genuinely did think it was a dive, but there was contact with him. I mean, it is possible to have contact and still be a dive, but it is obviously possible to have contact and not be a dive. So it was just one of the ones. So it was just one of the ones, and yeah, Messi. And then he had a couple free kicks, and he was hitting the wall. It just wasn't his day. That really how it ended. 1-1. Iceland will be happy at that point. And later today is Croatia-Nigeria. Should be a good game. I probably won't do a match review, because by the time if I were to do a match review on that, because that's an 8 o'clock kick-off, that will finish at 9:45. By the time I've recorded the match review, you know, put it all up, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, it will be about 11, and I'm up early in the morning, so I don't want to stay up till 11. Might sound a bit wussy, but yeah, I'll try and do one on the Peru-Denmark game if it's a good game. You know, I want to kind of do it if it's a good game. If it's a boring game, not really anyone's going to be interested in a match review. But let's just talk about the France game quickly. France-Australia, I did get to kind of watch a wee bit while I was at work. So obviously France, they kind of started well with a few chances, but then they fell off. Australia played well, they defended well, they went forward a few times. They could have scored in the first half with that cross in. Hugo Lloris made a good save. But the likes of Dembele, Mbappe, Griezmann, they weren't really up to their usual standards. it wasn't until Griezmann got a penalty because of VAR. They scored. Whether it was a penalty, the Australian defender might have got the ball. Whether he did, he might have done. He definitely might have done. He definitely made contact on Griezmann, but yeah, he did touch the ball a bit, so it probably wasn't a penalty. But Griezmann put the penalty away. Just 5 minutes later, Titty, what are you doing? Cross came in from Australia, and he literally goes up and punches it. Like, what is he doing? Like, that is just stupid. Like, there was no one near him. Varane was going to win the header behind him. It was stupidity at its finest, and Jednak steps up and calmly slots the penalty by Hugo Lloris, and it's 1-1. But it wasn't until the 80th minute when the ball got played over to Pogba. I'm sure he tried to actually touch it around the defender, then shoot. But when he tried to touch it by the defender got a touch onto it, dipped the keeper, crossbar and in, and yeah, goal line technology did say it was a goal, so it was a goal. Goal line technology obviously is less controversial than VAR, but VAR is still a work in progress. So yeah, 2-1 to France, and there was 1-1 between Argentina and Iceland. Obviously 2 different groups. It's Peru and Denmark later on. It is actually 5 o'clock, so it's 4:15 right now. 5 o'clock, Peru, Denmark. I'll try and get a match review out for then, and we'll see how Group C and Group D end up at the end of the day. So if you like the video, please have a like and comment down below what you do think of this video, of the game. Any feedback is much appreciated. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.